What's up? Okay, you guys, so I am back in the group chat. um, the last video I did, a couple people asked me to touch more on letting go because I mentioned it in the last video. If you didn't check it out, go check it out. It was about not breaking no contact. And it was called Do Not Break No Contact. And it was just pretty much giving you a little insight on what I've been experiencing and why I highly recommend not breaking no contact, and just the benefits of not breaking no contact. And then I mentioned about, letting go, but I didn't really expound on it. And so a couple people was like, make a video about it. So here we go. I'm going to talk about letting go. And I want to start by saying I haven't let go. It's really tough to do that when it is deeper than just something casual, right? Because I'm speaking from a place of people who are struggling to move on from toxic, abusive, narcissistic relationships, a really painful, really, really bad breakup. Not something casual, So, first thing to do is know that the reason why you're struggling to let go is deeper than you. It's usually a soul tie, an attachment, an addiction. And we have to look at it from that mindset. That's what has been taught to me. And that's kind of like the mindset that I'm looking at it in so that I can help pull myself out of this. So in the last video, I talked about, kind of what's been happening with the back and forth with that person and, just why I decided I was just wanted to go no contact, because I realized that regardless of whether this person, even if this person was the best person in the world, it's just super unhealthy to be that attached to a person where they control your happiness, where they control your days, right? So as for me, I'm just like, I want to let go. But you want to know what's really disappointing? When you're getting a lot of advice about letting go, people just treat it like, oh, just let go, get over him, or just leave it alone. I feel like that's how a lot of people were talking to me, and it gets annoying because okay, let go, okay, block my number, change my number, move, do all these different things to physically move on from the person and physically take myself out and let go. But I don't have control over my spirit holding on to this person. If I could, I would, right? And so I know some of you are probably experiencing that, and you're probably, annoyed as well, because you're just like, I want to let go. I don't want to obsess over this person or desire this person who has treated me so badly, has broken my heart into so many pieces, and just done some really terrible things to me that has forced me to leave them alone. But my heart, my spirit won't let them go, of course, So the only thing I could do is just share some of the things that have been helping me on my journey. And again, I haven't really 100% let go. I'm working on that. But yeah, so let's get into it. One of the things that I feel like is just most important is just definitely you need to have a faith-based relationship. Like, I have a really good relationship with God now. I think that's just really important to have that. So whatever you believe, whoever you believe in, you just definitely, in my opinion, I really highly recommend a faith-based relationship, because you have to understand that it's deeper than you. That's number one. It's beyond you when you're feeling that level of attachment, right? To a person. It's an addiction, So also the advice that was given to me from my mom and from my therapist was you got to treat it like a 12-step program. If you were addicted to crack cocaine, you wouldn't just get off of it so easily. Your life would be in ruin. So many things would be going on around you, and you really want to do better and get out and have better, but you just can't break that addiction. It keeps calling you back, and unfortunately, we can be addicted to people in those ways. Relationships can cause those kind of addictions, depending on, the kind of person you are, and just spiritual warfare and things like that. A lot of things that I have been seeing, which I do feel like it resonates with me more, is being an empath, right? I would consider myself one. It's something that is a gift and a curse, right? If you're an empath, you know why I say it's a gift and a curse. But that leaves you vulnerable to, you know, soul ties and demonic soul ties and toxic abuse and things like that, narcissistic people, because of your character. So you are more prone to experience these kind of addictions and attachments to people. But yeah, so have a relationship with God. You know, I recommend. Don't hold on to a preferred outcome. Like, if you're just like, you know, thinking about, you know, what it could have been, what you want it to be, you know, maybe if in this time apart, he'll come back, or we'll get, you know, or she'll come back, you know, like, just don't hold on to any preferred outcomes. Like, literally, if you're letting go, just do that. Just let go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, don't hold on to any preferred outcomes. That's just the best way I can say it in simple terms, right? Also, like, stop watching them. I talk to my friend about that all the time, because one thing I'm really good at is out of sight in people. I'm not gonna say out of sight, out of mind, because it'll still be on my mind, rent free, right? But I don't like terrorize my own self by going and looking him up or her up on social media. Like, don't go doing that. Just mind your business. Mind your business and live your life. And yeah, it'll be painful a lot of the times trying to continue to move on, and you're in no contact with that person and you're trying to let them go. But hey, so what? Like, you're going to be in pain regardless, because you're leaving this person for a reason. So clearly you're either going to suffer staying tied to them, or suffer on your journey to letting go of them. Back to what I was saying too about not holding on to a particular outcome. Don't stay attached to the story that you created. Like, stay with the facts, right? So like, initially when I was trying to let this person go, I was just like in the delusion, right? Like, of like all that I wanted us to be, in this thing that I created in my head that we were going to be or could have been. But it's just important for me to like hold on to the facts, right? Like, that's not true. That person, that version that I've created is not real. The person's not good to me. The person doesn't love me. The person doesn't treat me well. The person has done terrible things to me. Like, remembering that, holding on to that, is just super important. I think that will help you on your journey of letting go, if you don't like literally manipulate your own self. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously no contact. No contact's the obvious. Like, if you really truly want to let go, and it's, again, coming out of like something that wasn't like a casual breakup, it was like a very painful breakup. And even if it is a casual breakup, if you want that person out of your system and you want to let them go, you can't be friends with them. Even if they were a good person, it's just like, hey, look, it's for me. I can't be friends with you because I want more, or it's gonna hinder me moving on, or whatever it may be. No matter the situation, no contact's gonna be the best thing to help you let go, so that you can move forward, you know, in your life. And then focus on yourself, right? So that was also an annoying one for me. It was like, focus on yourself, love yourself, right? And the cool thing is I've been on this journey. I've been able to talk to so many different people, therapists, life coaches, friends, watching videos on YouTube, all these different platforms. And one of the things that most recently came across my desk was doing all the things that you put off is an example of focusing on yourself, right? So if you're like, you wanted to go get a college degree, and you kind of just like had let this slide on the back burner, especially if it had anything to do with you being in a relationship being the reason why you didn't do these things you said you wanted to do, start doing those things. Even if they're challenging things, like, start doing those things. So for me, it was the gym. I just was being so lazy. I've been putting it off. And I keep, hyping myself up about it. Like, oh, I know I want to have this certain look. I want to, I want to be like this and I knew it was going to be imperative for me to get back on my fitness journey, but I just kept putting it off. And I just, one day, and it's very recently, about 3 weeks now, was just like, that's it. I'm doing this. No excuses. Getting up 5:30 in the morning, when I am not a morning person, I am a snoozer. I will snooze 3-4 times that alarm clock before I like get out of bed. And I'm just getting my butt up and going. And I'm proud of myself for that, because I know for me, that is quite a challenge. But that's an example of me doing something that is important to my growth and well-being that I've just continuously been putting off. And now I'm doing it. Begin something new too, you know, that's something I'm still working on. My really good girlfriend, she was telling me like, go do yoga, do Pilates. One of my cousins, she does like pottery and art, and I was just like, those kind of things inspire me, because I'm just like, for no reason at all, I can do these things, not to like make money, not to sell it, but like just to do something, a hobby of my own, like something that when I'm home and just to get out of my own head, and so I'm talking to you like I'm talking to myself, because I haven't started something new. And so, okay, we're starting something new. And again, you see the examples I gave you. It could be simple things like you could just start painting or drawing or coloring or gardening, pottery, whatever. We're going to figure it out, but we're going to start something new. And I think that just goes into getting a routine, right? Get a routine. I've been hearing that is really beneficial, and I kind of started my own little thing in the beginning stages of no contact, when it was really rough. It was really painful for me in the beginning of the breakup and everything, and I was just really like sliding down the wall, crying, and I started like doing, and I honestly kind of slacked off on it, and I need to get back into the groove of it, but it helped me out of the pain part, because I don't suffer from the pain anymore. But I was making sure that I did like a skincare routine, at night, and a praise and worship, listening to my affirmations, reading the Bible, like watching something. Like I had a little system going, and then I would wake up in the morning and I would do my system affirmations and in the shower and my skincare routine, and making sure I listen to a sermon on the way to work, and reading the Bible and things like that. And I still do those things, but they're like out of order and not really in like a routine type of way anymore. I don't really have so much of a routine, because I kind of got comfortable. Like once I needed that routine to like help kickstart me, because I was really, really depressed and really, really sad, right? And really, really hopeless too. And then I got through that, and then I started having like how I did start, decorating my house. Like I started doing other things that kind of took me off of that, and like once I started decorating my living room, I got excited about my living room. I just like loved to be in my living room. So then I would just like lay on the couch after work, like for like, I would say after I decorated my living room, it had to be like 3 weeks to a month straight where I was excited to go home and do the same things. So I guess that was a routine. Get in the shower, which my skincare routine is just a part of that now. Get in the shower, put on my pajamas, and yell on the couch and watch TV. And I hadn't been able to just watch TV in a long time. Just in a routine of my life, work and smartphones and things like that. I don't really just sit around watching TV. So that was just really fun for me. Like binging shows, getting into shows, binge watching shows. I started doing that. And I'm gonna tell you guys something too, a little tip. If you're an Apple person, if you have Apple TV, take advantage of it. I literally only in the last couple of months just started watching Apple TV original on their shows. They have some of the best series. It's insane. Oh my goodness. Definitely want to get into all of it. I mean, I haven't watched an Apple series yet that wasn't good. So I'm almost like compelled to believe that all their shows are good on there. So yeah. So I guess as I'm talking through it with you guys, I did have a little routine. It just kind of like got mixed up a lot. But all that matters is that it really did help me. Back to the no contact. You can't let that person come in and out of your life. In the last video, I talked about how it was no contact for 3 months. He popped up out of nowhere, and I let him back in for a couple of weeks, and I seen how everything that I had been working on shifted just like that. Like my energy shifted. I was like feeling sad again. And it just allowed me to know this person, which I already knew, but that was like a quick example, and I got myself out quick because I realized no, this person is like an energy vampire. And it was the same cycle. Nothing was different. And then, I don't know about you, but for me, I just had an epiphany, and I was like, this is stupid, this is boring. I don't want to be in the same boring cycle with this same person anymore. You're not capable of offering me what I really want for myself. And as much as I love you and would like it to be you, it's not you. And I just have to accept that. And accepting is hard, but that's a part of letting go. You have to accept that this person is not the person. It's not your person. Be the main character of your own life. That was also some great advice that was given to me. And I really took a moment to step back and recognize that I wasn't the main character of my own life. Like, I was literally just living it was my life, but I was just like not focused on me, not taking care of me. It was really bizarre. It was just like I was a standby, in my own life. And so that's what I'm working on now, just making sure that I'm the main character, that I'm happy, that I'm loved, and that, just it's about me. This is my life. This is my life. My life is about me, and those around me are part of that, and they have their own lives that's about them, and that's just that. Also, I ask myself questions like, is this the best you can do, Lena? So ask yourself that. Really genuinely wrap your head around that. I mean, think about it, the whole relationship and everything that you're experiencing, and don't think about the past when things were good. That's another thing, right? Because that's cool, but that's not the reality. That's not right now. Like, if you were with someone where things were once good, but they haven't been in a long time, and they're not showing any signs of ever going to be again, let go of that idea, that fantasy of that story. It's over with. It's done with. You have to focus on the now. That will help. I just had to ask myself, like, is this the best you can do? And I know that it's not. I'm just like, girl, please, you've done better, actually. So you can clearly do better than this. And that's something that you just, asking yourself those important questions. And that pretty much goes to, if you're struggling to let go, consider what you're holding on to. Consider what you're holding on to now. Not the past and things were good, and consider what you're holding on to now and ask yourself, like, is this really what I should be holding on to, or should I just let this go? Let's table this. And just don't second guess yourself. Like, it's okay, to miss a person, to wish things were different, but don't second guess your decisions and your choices. Like, I did a lot of that when I made the decision to move on and no contact. I just kept ruminating and second guessing myself and going back and forth. And it was one period where I was going back and forth, blocking, unblocking. It was just crazy because you feel guilt and you feel like when you're the one leaving the person, especially like if it was an abusive relationship, a relationship with a narcissist, things that like affected your mental capacity and your spiritual and your emotional, it leaves you warped. And that's a whole nother conversation for people who are maybe really dealing in like toxic, abusive, narcissistic, people with personality disorders, like that kind of relationship. I could talk so much about that just because I really deeply experienced it and I'm still dealing with the aftermath of that, right? But the point I'm just trying to make is it's okay to miss that person, but don't second guess yourself. Like, make the decision to move on, and that's it. And just go through the emotions of all the pain and all the things that come with moving on and letting go on the journey. And eventually you will. I mean, think back, right? Unless this is your first ever love ever, we all have experienced this before, where we really just love somebody and we thought they were our end-all be-all and we don't even care about them anymore. I still to this day can feel it when I think about it and remember my very first heartbreak, or my very first everything, my high school sweetheart. And I still like remember, like I can literally feel it. I remember the room. I remember the feeling, like I can feel my heart drop into my stomach the first time he ever broke my heart. And I don't care. I could care less about him. Sorry. I mean, like, hey, somebody in my history, I have compassion for him, but it's like, I don't think about him. My life just goes on. Even my daughter's father, I was with him for like freaking 12, 13 years. I don't wake up and go to sleep and think about that man. Like, I never really thought about it or considered it, but I'm sure I go days without thinking about him. And I think the only reason why it's days and not weeks or months is because we share a child together. So I like have to hear his voice when he talks to her, or have to hear her talk about him, or have to communicate with him. But like, I don't care. And this is somebody who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, right? And just different guys I've dated in between, like, that I just thought I could care less, right? And so I remind myself about that as I'm trying to move on from this guy and really truly let him go, not just physically because I've done that, but like in my spirit and in my heart and in my mind, I really want to let go. So I trust me when I tell you, I understand if you're watching this and that's all you want for yourself. I get it, and just know that's possible. We just got to do a few things, and make a few tweaks, and make sure that we're growing. Because here's the deal too, right? If this person just shows back up, don't let them show back up with you being the same person. Like, and in the video I talked about right before this one, which I'll make sure it's there for you guys to click it and, whatever, check it out. But he came back after 3 months with no contact, and I'm ashamed to admit that he came back to like the same person a little bit, right? Because I won't say I'm really the same person because I was able to cut it off quickly, but I say the same person because he was able to manipulate me and get into my emotions and my feelings and have me acting in ways that I was acting when I was like, dang, I thought I was getting over this. And it's like I was getting over it, but somebody said it best. It's just like if you break your arm, right? And you gotta put the cast on, you gotta let it heal. If you take the cast off too soon, that arm is not going to be healed. Like, it's gonna be disformed or whatever, it's gonna hurt, you're gonna need to go and get a recast and all this stuff. And so that's pretty much what I did. It wasn't that he came back to the same person, it's just like, I'm not done healing. I'm not done. So I don't need to have this person, I don't need to have access to this person doesn't need to have access to me because I'm still on my journey of healing. Maybe one day down the line in life I can run into him, or he could run up on me and I could just be like, sir, please get out of my face, because who are you? Like, you don't stand a chance. And that is what I'm aiming for. So if you are trying to let go, I would say, the last thing I would say is, idolize being the one that got away. That's what has been helping me. That's what was able to get me to go back into no contact so quickly, because I was like, nah, I think I was enjoying being the one that got away. Like, yeah, I want you big mad you lost me, baby. I'm the one that got away. I want you big mad that you'll never be able to have me again. You stuck with who you thought the grass was greener for. Enjoy that. I want you to enjoy that. Because me, this over here, baby, we're too good for you. That's the energy. And so I was talking to my friend last night, actually, and I was telling her, like, at this point, also, maybe I just need to be Delulu. Like, even if I don't feel it, just pretend. Fake it till I make it. So that's what I'm doing now, too. I decided I'm just going to pretend I don't care. Pretend that I don't until I don't. And don't look for closure. Closure is a trap. That is a joke. Nobody's giving nobody closure for real, especially not a toxic person. They don't want you to move on from them for real. So do not look for closure. It's a joke. Let me see. I'm always taking notes for myself, so I'm going to go on my phone real quick because I want to see if there's anything I left out that I feel like would be beneficial for you guys. Look, my desire to be the one who got away. That's it. Like, I love that. That's what's helping me. The desire that I have now, the passion that I have now to be the one who got away. Period. And then I took this note for myself. I lose nothing if you leave, and I gain nothing if you stay. Really listen to that. I lose nothing if you leave. I gain nothing if you stay. That means this person is completely useless in your life. And if that's the case, you know what to do. Let me see any other cool notes. Holding on to a relationship that is finished is an act of self-sabotage. Yes. God just wants you to try and he will do the rest. Yeah. And then I also just wrote for myself quick reminders of why we are not going back. Recommend you to do that. Because sometimes you just need to remind yourself, because when distance makes the heart grow fonder. That's just natural, right? So even if you went through trauma after a certain period of time, you start missing the fantasy that you've created of the person or the good times. And it's important for you to remind yourself of why you left and why you're not going back. And just read that stuff every time you start having doubt. And then there's one thing I want to share, and it's about loving yourself. One of my really, really good friends, I adore her so much, I call her my life coach. Everyone's always saying love yourself. And I was just struggling with that because I'm just like, I'm so annoyed with that. Like, love yourself, just love yourself. Oh, you're doing this or you're accepting that because you don't love yourself. And it's like, okay, cool, so how do I love myself? And the way she spelled it out, she deserves an award for it because it's really simple, but it's just like, oh, that makes so much sense. I said, how do I love myself or love myself more? Sincerely, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to love myself. And she said, when you don't accept less than you know and believe you deserve, when you don't give people access to what you have to offer because you value it more than anything and it's sacred, when you care more about what you think and feel because you value the types of experiences you have, when you don't consider the people who aren't good for you, when you don't leave the door open for toxicity and dysfunction because you care about how it impacts you. And baby, let me tell you, I screenshot that and I reread that because that's how you love yourself. You get all the cliches like self-care, self-love, oh, go take yourself on a date, which she's giving me all that advice too. Take yourself on a date, dress yourself up, present yourself, find out about yourself, your personal style, who you want to be, all this different stuff. And that's amazing. But you need to love yourself, like that's all good aesthetically and just being nice to yourself. But love yourself, that was it. I truly believe that's it. So good luck to you on your journey. We are on this journey together. I'm still on this journey. I have not fully 100% let go either. I'm struggling with it. But these are all the different pointers and feedback and advice that I've learned along the way. And I'm just sharing it with you. And don't forget, we are going to start something new. So start figuring out what that new thing is. I'm going to do the same. And you all have an amazing healing journey.